the legal team, Joe, Geek Sensei, Raven, Sam, Mr. Blitzstick.
You three, man. Yeah. You man about.
We are live, as I'm saying, Mr. Blitztech.
I'm Jay, 1/3 of the Cyber Nerds.
And welcome to a free DLC where you're going to get some loads of content to do with your gaming. But before we go any further in life, make sure you're subscribing to the channel.
Subscribe to that thing, yeah. Hit the thumbs up and the notification bell to get notified every time we drop a banger! Alright, today...
Bangers. That's what I've got to say.
Today we do get to talk about a lot of bangers. Like, hey, listen, if you're here, what we're going to be talking about today is the PlayStation Plus games of February. We're going to be talking about specifically EA Sports UFC 4, and then we're going to dive into some Sifu.
Woo-wee! Alright, cool.
Alright, so basically, I mean, tell us about the other game on PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus Feb. It's kind of a strange one because when I thought the list was okay, because I do want to dive into Tiny Tina's Assault and Dragon Keep. It's a one-shot adventure. I was like, it was DLC for Borderlands 2, but they made it its own thing. It's on PS4. And I thought, I like Borderlands. I like the gun looting to Infinite they got going on there. And I do want to jump into the Tiny Tina's Adventure later on in the year as well. Mm-hmm. So I thought this would be like a good segue for people who do like Borderlands, who do like looter shooters, who do like this kind of stuff about, I could play this here. It's a PlayStation Plus right now. I think it's a very doable platinum as well. Mm-hmm. And then when Tiny Tina's actual game comes out, that's on PS5, PS4. Jump on that, and you're just like,
you're in the verse.
That's it.
You're in Tiny Tina's multiverse. I feel you. What about the other game, Planet Coaster?
This is where I was like, what the actual hell? The PS5 game we're getting for this month is Planet Coaster.
Go on.
I was like, we're getting a theme builder for PS5. Like, first of all, these games are not good on console regardless. I like builders, yeah. I like Sims, like city builders. I like these kind of builders, but console and then PS5. I was heavily bamboozled, so I was like, yeah, this is where you went downhill with this.
I hear what you're saying, but like, are there enough PS5 games to be giving us legit PS5 games? And this is why I don't even think that this is like too much of a par, because I'm like, listen, if you can't give us the Sims, giving us something like this is like, all right, look, take this game. And I still think it's a pretty strong month. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm not fussed. And maybe I'm really not fussed in taking this approach because I got the game that I've been wanting, EA Sports UFC 4. Now, let me just, for you lot, I know Sam's heard this story bare times, but let me tell you my relationship with EA or UFC games. Basically, before PS4 had them all. Do you get me? The THQ games, bang them out. EA MMA, before EA got the UFC license, all over that. Then I got EA's first UFC game. Got 93% of it in terms of trophies. There's 2 trophies on there that I still don't have, and I will never have. Which is 1, complete a championship season with all knockouts, and then the same trophy with all submissions. Now, the issue with these trophies is they're both online trophies, and if someone disconnects while you're completing it, it resets. You can't really boost it because it's incredibly hard because it doesn't match you up against the same person twice in a row. So it's just long. Yeah, it's mad. It's actually a madness. So if you've got 4 wins in a row, yeah, we're playing online by, let's just say, by knockout, yeah, and the 5th person disconnects after you've knocked them out, but your hand has not been raised, it resets the trophy. Now, I tried this many times and just got frustrated and ended up giving it up. Do you get what I'm saying? But I loved the game. Mm-hmm. I loved the game. Then UFC 2 came out, got it, platinumed it, boom. UFC 3 came out. I read the reviews about them completely uphauling the controls, the submission game and stuff like that. And it was kind of turning me off. And then at that time as well, I was playing other stuff. So I was just like, all right, look, I'm going to leave this one out. UFC 4 came out. Mm-hmm. Very hesitant about it as well. But then when it dropped on PlayStation Plus for free, I was like, I'm getting this game. Got it. I've put a lot of hours into it in the last 16 days. I've been enjoying it very, very much. But I've got huge complaints about it. Like, when it comes to graphics, fire. Fighting, I want to say super legit. Mm-hmm. My main issues, if we're just talking about regular, like, the combat, is the submission game. Mm-hmm. Like, I think the submission games they've changed is really weird. They've now got 2 mini games, like, for choke submissions compared to joint submissions. And it's not great. I don't love it.
What's this mini games?
So basically, there's one mini game where you've got to move. Both mini games require you to move your indicator outside of the person who's trying to get you's indicator. Okay. So it's like, I'm here, you're here, I move around the circle, you're trying to stay on top of me. Do you know what I'm saying? And then the other one, and that is done with the analog.
Okay.
And then the other one is the same game in a different shape, like a half bend U, but it's done with the shoulder controls. Do you know what I'm saying? Depending on what submission. Like, I think that's dead. But other than that, my biggest complaint is the career mode and the lack of Ultimate Team. Now, I am one of them people who don't think Ultimate Team should be the biggest component of EA games, but I do think they're very important to EA games, and I don't think it's something that they should shy away from, especially in UFC. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think that the Ultimate Team thing is really missing from it, but the career mode is, I've got to lean towards like, it's just not great.
Right.
Like, it is just bog standard, fam. Like, there's elements of good things. Like, bruv, one of my favorite things about it, and if you know, is, listen, Twitter. I love Twitter. And they've got a Twitter component in it. You win a fight, you get tweets. Oh, at Domination's one of the best fighters out. At tweets. Oh, paper champion. No ground game. That stuff is there. And you get to interact with other fighters through Twitter and stuff like that. I love the social media aspect of it, but they don't go deep enough with it. I should be able to at fighters. I should be able to instigate beefs. I should be able to stuff like that. So that's just for the social media component. I think that would be really good if they included that in UFC 5 when it comes out. And as well as you can't change fighting camps, which I thought was very, very weird. Very weird. So I've had the same coach and the same training partners my whole career. I'm a 2-time UFC champion.
Let's say,
Bruv.
so you can't get to the most prestige camp there is in the world.
No, you can't.
That's weird.
You can't. Always like, and
what if you just fall out with your camp as well? Why isn't that component in
bruv, I've been knocking out my training partners in every training session since the beginning, and man keep coming back. Like, bruv,
No.
at one point, man's gonna stand up and say, "No, it's enough." Do you know what I'm saying? So it's all a bit mad. So there's that. Also, when you sign new contracts, they give you like targets you can hit. So it'll be like, you get a contract and it'll be like, this is a 4-fight contract, and it'll be like, listen, you can increase your popularity during this contract and we'll give you a 50 grand bonus. What I would like is to be able to negotiate my contract. So Dana White has offered me 200 grand per fight. I want to be like, no, Dana, I want 400 grand and I want this, and this. Do you know what I'm saying? He should be able to reject this. He should be able to accept this. Like, you've got to get more integral with the parts in UFC that you don't have in other games. As well as, for some reason, there's no press conferences. There's no weigh-ins. Like just all of that other stuff, the stuff that you love watching UFC fighters do, like, none of it's there. Bruv, I should be able to go to a press conference, pick my selected responses, and then throw a water bottle at the guy I want to fight. I should be able to do that. You can't do none of that. And it leaves the career mode feeling very hollow. So every career mode, all I do, you go there, you do a couple social media posts, you do some training. The training gets incredibly repetitive. Like, after 10 fights, and then you go fight, you win. Like, it's got all of the essentials to be great, but it's like they just didn't put enough time into like the details. And I really, really hope, one, I'm really happy I never paid for this game. I'm really happy I got it for PlayStation Plus. And it's still available. So if you haven't got it, make sure you get it for the end of the month. And you can come and get slapped up by me on my Twitch streams. But I hope UFC 5, they just learn, they listen, and they add all of this stuff. Because obviously, the new boxing game, ESBC, is coming out. And like the Domination Fight community is trying to get me to get that game, because it's got lots of the components that this UFC game doesn't.
Really?
Yes. And that game's made by boxers and like developer. Like, that's going to be a very, it's going to be very, it's going to have all of those little things that you want. Do you know what I'm saying? So, bruv, look, man, UFC 4, it's good. It's worth getting for free on PlayStation Plus, but I cannot say spend money on it. I can't say spend money on it, innit? But yeah, UFC 4. I'm enjoying it, bruv. I'm a big fight fan, but don't know, man. Don't know. I want more from UFC 5. But yeah, it's worth getting on PlayStation Plus.
Hear that still. But yeah, another game that came out this month.
Not on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, that's not on PlayStation Plus, and I'll get down to the worth of it later on, is Sifu, which is kind of mad. I think the community brought it to us. Raven brought it to my attention, and I was like, wow, this looks pretty interesting. Then I found out it was made by people at Slow Clap that did a game called Absolver. And that game was like, you made your own martial artist.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't any kind of PvE in that. It was all PvP.
Mm-hmm.
The more you fight someone, the more your skill gets better. And obviously, that eventually dwindled down because it wasn't very popular. And obviously, you need a fighting game to have a very big
community.
That's it. I heard it's got a strong community now, but it's very, very small. So I'm thinking about playing it because it was back. I think it got released on PlayStation Plus a couple of months back. I got it, but I'm like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. But then Sifu came out, and I was just looking, like, at the look of it, I like the whole Souls rogue-ish type they got going on, where obviously the levels are quite challenging, they're quite difficult. They've got this whole, like, if you die, you age quicker. The more you age, you do more damage, but you got less health. And just the stuff you can like learn in the game as well. Obviously, it's all like martial arts, so it's really hard to explain if you're playing the game, but it feels like you're actually learning a martial art. So they got like a list of skills that you can buy, but the older you age, the younger skills disappear.
Okay.
So they get completely locked out. But you only get XP back, obviously, defeating enemies, but you can only learn the skill once in your actual first run. Mm-hmm. So to unlock the skill permanently, you gotta keep using the XP to unlock it. So when you do reset the whole game, you can then use that move as much time as you want.
You told me about this method of skill tree, and what I thought was interesting about it is the fact that you don't permanently unlock a move unless you've used it and upgraded it a certain amount of time makes me feel very good about learning techniques in the game.
Yeah.
Because you would probably have to like master that move actually, and I'm talking about in terms of muscle memory.
Exactly.
And upgrade it to unlock it permanently, and that is what you would actually do in real life. In the event you were trying to learn a martial art move.
That's what I think is so legit.
That's what I think is sick. I think that is actually a sick concept.
That is. Because you go into a dojo, imagine the master was like, all right, here's today's a round kick, here's today's a punch in the throat, here's today's a sweep. If you go home, you could try and master all of them, but they're not going to be like very good. But in this game, literally, like you're saying, you go into like, I don't know, a situation, and once you've mastered the move that you actually like, you're going to be like, it's going to be so sick that the game is going to get a bit easier the more you kind of use it. So I thought that a kind of like a legit way of using that kind of rogue technique that they've got going on there. The story is okay. Like that's the thing I think I don't like about the game too much. One, is a bit too short, even though it's got huge replayability in it, because obviously you've got to unlock the moves, you've got to unlock, it gives you challenges on the trophies like complete the game by the age of 25, which right now seems ridiculous because the bosses, in fact, that's another thing that's good about the game. The bosses are actually really fun to face, really, really good. They're not, like throughout the game, they've got like enemy types you keep facing. So you do eventually also learn how to fight back. So obviously there's got like high moves and low moves. If you're very good, you could dodge them, block and parry, which obviously I think is pretty legit that they put that in the game. And you get to learn the enemy types eventually, but I don't know, that the game also keeps you at the edge of your seat because even though you've mastered a certain kind of martial art that they bring you across, there's still enemies that they change up the way they do the moves. So I think in earlier stages, it used to be like a move that will do like high kick, then low kick. You know, okay, this enemy type's going to do this all the time. Later on in the game, it does high kick. You're like, it's going to do a sweep. And then high kick again. You're like, oh my gosh.
So it's almost like the enemies evolve
as
well. Like that's
it. So I think the combat in the game, they've got it hankered down. They've got that completely legit. Everything in that aspect is so good. It's fluid. The moves are great. Even the environments they put you in with like weapons and that kind of stuff, everything is good. I just think there just should have been more, unfortunately.
See, I don't know how short the game is, but like I've watched a lot because obviously you've been playing it, and I just feel like I love the art style of it. I think the way it looks is super legit, especially for a game like this, and it reminds me of like a souped up version of Sleeping Dogs. Now, you lent me Sleeping Dogs on PS3 like one Friday, and I gave it back to you on the Sunday Platinum. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what was wrong with me that weekend, but I was so like, there was this time like I was like obsessed with open world games, and I just wanted bears, and the Sleeping Dogs were super legit. And I look at Sifu and I'm interested, but I don't know if I want to play it. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep watching more and more and more. But it does look good, bruv. So what you said about it? You bought it what? Full price. Day one. What are you saying?
Definitely worth full price day one.
Okay, boom, like that.
I'm even gonna buy it again physically.
You got it digitally?
I had to.
Trainer!
These man did it to me, bro. You think I'm gonna wait until the physical release comes out, or the way?
Wait, the physical release was after the digital date.
It's not out yet. It's coming out May or something.
So wait. How did we get the game? They sent it to us.
No, I had to go get in there from the store, innit?
Wow.
Okay. So wait. They staggered the dates.
Yeah. Like, it's almost like they've done so well. It's like, all right, now we're doing the physical.
No.
But it feels like it was in the wet because now they're doing steelbook, lithographs, and this. I'm like, you motherfudgers.
No, just in this situation, I'm gonna hope that they had a benchmark that they had to hit before they could release physical. Yeah. I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that's the case. Do you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes with smaller studios, it might be a situation where it's like, it's too much to like just package and send the game out. We'll do it digitally. If it makes the numbers, then we'll do a physical copy. I'm gonna hope that's the case. If it's not the case, you better stop that. You better stop that. Yes. Stay physical.
Yeah, man, you got
stay physical.
But yeah, that's the thing. The game's so good. I'm just gonna buy it again and just open the physical one because I think it deserves that much. The game's legit.
Nah, man, that's good to hear, fam. Do you know what I'm gassed about? I'm gassed about this time next week. We're gonna be talking about Horizon.
Jeez.
That's coming out on Friday. So yeah, man, I'm gassed about that. But man, I'm glad. Hey, Sifu's going well. Look, we got Fight Club, guys. If you want to watch us play these games, we got Twitch channels. We usually do our first impression streams right here on the Cybernerds Gaming channel. So make sure you're locked in for those. There is going to be one for Horizon on Friday, the 18th when it drops. So make sure you're locked in.
So we're going to say until next time, I'm Mr. Blitzstick.
J1 further to Cybernerds.
Peace.